minute or two late. I had a problem with my camera getting everything hopefully in the frame. But here we are. Welcome to another beginner full body workout. I'm glad to be here with you today virtually. My name is Melissa. I'm the health aware dietitian and personal trainer. Just a few quick notes before we get started. If you have any major medical conditions and you haven't been cleared yet for exercise, please do so before beginning this or any exercise program. If you feel any chest pain during this workout, please stop immediately and call your doctor or 911. During this workout, I want you to pay special attention to your joints. We don't want your joints to hurt. So knees, wrists, spine. If you do have any pain in your joints, please stop performing the move that's aggravating your joints, or perform a less intense variation. So for example, we'll be doing air squats today. If that bothers your knees, then lower down less, so maybe half the distance, so that you don't have as much force on your knee joints. Now on the other hand, muscle pain or muscle fatigue is okay. As we stress our muscles during exercise, we cause micro tears in the muscle tissues over the next few hours and days. Our bodies repair those micro tears and actually make our muscles stronger as a result. I can't hear you. Oh, let's see. My guess is that maybe your volume's not loud enough. Let me know if you still can't hear me or if anyone else is there and can't hear me. Because I think everything's okay on my side. I'm just gonna keep powering through. Let me know if you can't hear me okay, Annette. So muscle pain is fine. So like in the quads, joint pain is not fine in the knees, okay? On a lighter note, the only piece of equipment you need today is something soft to lie down on, like a mat that I have, or a towel or rug. Other than that, that's all I have to say. So let's begin. I'm gonna make sure that you can hear me though. Annette, can you let me know if you can hear me? Can you hear me? Okay, well, I'm just gonna go ahead and get started. Let me make sure I didn't push any weird buttons. I think I'm good. I think on my side we're good. So let's get our music started. Okay, we're gonna just start with our warm up first. We're gonna do some marching. If you can hear the music, I'm gonna turn it up just a little bit. Hopefully you can hear that. You can march to the beat if you want. You don't have to. Keep going, warming up our body. All right, let's stand still and reach overhead. Right arm up, so you can see me a little better. Right arm up, now reverse, reach the other side up. Just stretching out that body, getting it ready for our exercise. Big stretch. All right, now arms out to the side. Let's rotate. Gentle on that spine. Warming up our bodies in the center. Good, gentle on the spine. One more. All right, good. Now moving on to the feet, so you can see me a little better. Just a little foot pedal. Warming up those legs, getting the feet ready. Hopefully you can hear me now. Let's go back to our march. Warming up the body. We're gonna do all of our moves just one more time. Get ourselves warmed up, ready to go. We're seeing a different part of my house today. Okay, let's reach overhead, big stretch. Ooh, my hand's out of the frame, there we go. Big stretch, other side, big stretch. Open up those ribs. Breathe. All right, arms out to the side. Let's rotate. Twisting through the core, through the spine. Keep the core tight. Better start doing that now so we can remember the rest of the class. One more time each direction. And let's move back to our feet, doing a little foot pedal. Warming up those legs. Oops, someone else said something. Let me see if they can hear me. Keep going. Hi, thank you. Oh, good. So you can hear me. Okay, I think you can hear me now then. Okay, I was really worried. Good. All right, let's get going right into our exercises, shall we? So we have 5 exercises today. The first round I'm going to go through a little bit slower so that I can explain proper technique, body positioning. You can get the hang of the movement. And then we're going to hopefully get through 5 full sets today, including that first one. So the next sets after the first will go a little bit quicker now that once we get the hang of the moves. All right, so first move we're going to be doing is an air squat with a leg abduction. So feet about hip distance apart from the side, okay? And you're going to lower down. If you need a chair behind you for the security, that's fine. But we're going to lower down. This is our air squat, okay? We're not going super low into this one. We're going to lower to the air squat and then lift the leg to the side. Lower and then the other leg lift to the side. So keep the core tight. Make sure the knees stay behind the toes when you lower down. Alternating that leg lift. You should feel the muscles working in your glute muscles, in those outside legs, those abductors. Lift. Let's do one more on this side. Good. So our next move we're going to be doing is a lunge. We did this last week. Feet will be again about hip distance apart, okay? I'll show you from the front first and then I'll show you from the side. So from the front we start with feet about hip distance apart. Make sure I don't slip here. And then you step back with one of your legs, a big wide step. Your back heel will be lifted. So from the side, looks like this, okay? From this position, we lower down about halfway and back up. If you're comfortable lowering more towards the floor, that's fine. But if you are in the beginner realm, like this class is for, just lowering halfway down is good. Once you get the hang of this, why don't you lift your hands overhead? If you try this, do you feel your core tighten up a little bit? Your belly button pulls back into your spine a little. Let's do one more. Let's try the other side. So opposite leg, now we'll step back. Okay, make sure that those feet are about hip distance apart when you step back. If you find that you're really wobbly, your feet might be a little bit too narrow and you need to step them out a little bit more, okay? Let's step back into our lunge. Knee stays behind the toe. And core tight, lower down halfway, and back up. Think about moving your body down, not forward. We're moving straight down. Think about pushing that knee down to the floor. Arms up if you like. Keeping that core more engaged. Let's do 2 more. 1 more. Good. How are you doing so far? Good, you're all still there. Okay. The next 3 moves are actually going to be on the floor. So go ahead and help yourself all the way down. The first move we're doing is an elbow plank. We did this move last week. Can't hear myself talk. We're doing an elbow plank. So elbows are going to be about shoulder width apart, directly below the shoulders on the mat. If you want a beginner version, I want you to stay on your knees, okay? Core is tight. You can see me. Core is tight on the knees. If you want a more advanced version, lift up onto those toes. Okay, whichever version you like. Think about doing a straight line all the way from your head down to whatever point is on the floor, whether it's your knees or your toes. Take a break in between if you need to. Lower yourself back down, or keep holding. Let's do 3, 2, 1, and relax. So we're working our arms, our core, our legs during that move, okay? The next one we're doing is called a Russian twist. We're gonna stay on the mat, seated this time. Okay, I'll show you from the front and the side on this one. Core move. Feet, knees together in front of your body, and we're going to be leaning back slightly. So from the side, this is what we look like. Leaning back to engage the core muscles just a little bit more, okay? And we're going to clasp the hands, whatever you like, whatever you're comfortable with your hands, and rotate side to side. Be especially careful with your spine on this move. Think about really putting tension in those core muscles so that we protect the spine and work the muscles that we're intending to work. Try to relax your neck, your shoulders if you can. Focus all of the tension right in your core. Rotating. And if you want more of a challenge, you can pick up your feet and rotate. Okay? Whatever speed you're comfortable with on that move or any of these moves is completely fine. If you're not following along with the speed I'm doing, that's okay. Do your best. One more move now that we have. It's on the floor as well. To the core, for our balance, arms, legs. Rotate on over to your hands and your knees. You want your hands below your shoulders and then your knees on the floor about hip distance apart, okay? This is our starting position. And we are going to reach out. This takes a little more brain work. Reach out your arm and your opposite leg at the same time, okay? These are called bird dogs. I don't really know why. Okay, so let's do right arm and your left leg. Reach them out, point the toe, and lower back down. Now the opposite. Reach out and lower back down. Hitting the wall. Reach out, lower down. Make sure your knees and your hands are at the hip width and the shoulder width. Otherwise, you might be a little bit off balance. Keep the core tight during this move. Try not to arch the back one way or the other. Keep the core tight, straight line with that core, with that spine. Reach it out and back down. When you extend your leg out, give your glute muscle a little squeeze. Okay? That glute, that's right here in case you're wondering. Squeeze it, point the toe. Good, relax. So that's one round of everything. We made it through. Whew. How are you doing? If you need a little more support for your knees down the floor, you can roll up a towel or double up your mat, get a pillow. I know some of us have tender knees, myself included. So take care of those, absolutely. Are you ready to do it all again a little bit quicker? All right. Let's get into that squat position, feet about hip distance apart. Lower down, and then lift up the leg. Lower down, lift up the leg. Whatever speed you're comfortable with, try to challenge yourself. Get that heart rate up, get those muscles firing. Is your core still tight? Keep it tight. Are you squeezing your glute muscles when you lift to the side? Make sure that you set your feet right back down to hip distance apart between each one. Let's do one more on each side. Last one. Good. Shake it out. Get ready for our next move, our lunge. All right. Remember, feet start about hip distance apart and then a big step back. Make sure the knee is not extending past the toes when you lower down. So halfway down and back up. Push the body down. Keep that upper torso straight. Think like someone has a string above your head, pulling you tall. If you want more of a challenge, engage those core muscles more. Add the arms overhead. Whatever speed you like to do these at, totally fine. Let's do one more. Good. How about the other side? Big step. Core tight and lower down. Only halfway, or if you want more of a challenge, lower further towards the floor. Make sure you push that body down. Arms up if you want more of a challenge. Engage those core muscles. How about two more? Good. How are your legs? All right, go ahead and help yourself all the way down to the mat. We're doing our exercises down there again. So our first one, remember, is our elbow plank. If you want the beginner version, knees stay on the floor. If you want more of a challenge, toes up on the floor. Keep those elbows below the shoulders. Core tight. If you want more of that challenge, pick up those knees, toes on the floor. Core is tight. Core is tight. Either position you're doing, core is tight. Keep breathing. 3, 2, 1, and relax. Go ahead and sit on down. Flip yourself over. We're doing our Russian twists. I'm going to give us some more exciting music. That got really boring, didn't it? Yeah, that's a little better. All right. Seated, engage the core, lean back. I'll show you this round from the side. So we lean back, hands together, rotating. Side to side. Keep that body up straight. So straight line with the spine. Keeping the core tight. Whatever speed you're comfortable with. If you really want more of that challenge, this is what it looks like. Feet lifted. Or you can also add a weight into your hand if you want a little more challenge. Let's do one more each way. Good. Rotate over again. Let's do those bird dogs. So get the body position first. Hands under the shoulders. And knees got hip distance apart. Reach out, opposite arm, opposite leg, keeping that core tight, core engaged. Reach and down. Give a little pause when you reach out and extend. Pause and then back down. Pause and back down. Good. Try not to lean side to side with this move. Really, really think about the core muscles, keeping your body centered, keeping your body stable. Is the sweat running down your forehead yet? How about last one? Good. So that was 2 rounds. Are you ready for another one? Let's do it. Let's do our squats. Feet about hip distance apart. And lower down. Lower and then leg lift. Lower and leg lift the other side. Core tight. Don't forget about that. Every exercise that you do, think about keeping those core muscles tight. They're so important for keeping our back healthy, for our posture. Don't forget to breathe either. One more each way. How about that? Good. Let's go into our lunge now. Whichever side you want to start with. Okay. Nice big step. Lowering straight down, halfway, and back up. Okay? So if you want more in this position, lower down even further. Knee closer to the floor, okay? Think about kind of getting a 90-degree angle. That's what you're aiming towards with that front knee. We're only lowering halfway down, so it's more like a 45-degree angle. Arms overhead if you want. Let's do 2 and 1. Other side. Switch legs. Deep breath. Get your balance and lower down halfway and back up. Remember, tall in the upper body, pushing straight down to the floor. Back heel is lifted. Arms up if you want, a little more core engagement. How about 2 more? Good. Take it down to the floor now. We're doing that elbow plank. Knees or toes, whatever you want. Elbows below the shoulders. Okay, straight line from the head to your knees or head to your feet. Really, really thinking about those core muscles. Kind of gaze up in between your hands. Don't let your head droop or look up too high. Very neutral on the spine, whichever position you're in. Let's do 3, 2, 1, and relax. Help yourself into a seated position. Feet together, knees close together, hands together. Doing our Russian twist. Make sure you're leaned back just slightly to engage the core. Rotate right and left. Are you still breathing? Keep going. Rotate. 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Flip on over. Let's do our bird dogs. Hands below the shoulders, knees hip distance apart. Get that balance ready. Opposite arm, opposite leg. Reach out. Point the toe and back to center. Point the toe, back to center. Can you feel your stabilizing muscles working to keep you centered on this move? You should. That's what we're working here. All the stabilizing muscles in our core. Did you forget to give your glute a little squeeze when you extend it out? Right there. Last one. Good. Relax. Help yourself back up. How are we doing? Are we surviving so far? We're going to do 2 more rounds, okay? And then we'll stretch. Adjust your workout clothes. Feet hip distance apart. Lower down and lift. Keep going with this move. I'm going to show you from the side. So the knees stay behind the toes when you lower down. Core stays tight. Okay? Think like you're going to sit down into a chair and then you change your mind. Whoop. Sit down and then change your mind. Keep going. Let's do 1 more on each side. Last one. Good. Shake it out. Back to our lunges now. Big step apart. Make sure your feet aren't lined up directly in front of each other, okay? Core tight and lower down, halfway. Make sure that back knee is bending. Down to the floor. Back heel lifted. Arms overhead if you want. Does this remind you to pull your belly button in when your arms go overhead? It kind of happens involuntarily. Let's do 2 more on this side. And reverse. Big step back. Breathe and lower down. Halfway or more if you want. Up tall with the torso. Arms overhead if you want. Belly button pulled back to the spine, core tight. Breathe. How about 2 more? Good. Take it down to your mat. We're moving through these a little more quickly. We're doing that elbow plank. Elbows below the shoulders, on the knees or the toes if you want. Challenge yourself. Try doing the toes. Even if you can only hold it for 5 seconds, challenge yourself. Try it. Keep going. Take breaks as you need it. Core tight. Try to keep that spine neutral. Don't let your head droop. 3, 2, 1, and relax. Woo! Have a seat. Back to our Russian twists. Core tight, core engaged. Lean back slightly. Hands together, rotating. If you have handheld weights or a heavy can of soup, you can hold onto that for added challenge and rotate that side to side. You can do this move more slowly if that's more comfortable for you. Whatever speed that you want, as long as it's challenging your muscles. Try to keep those feet glued together, heels on the floor. How about one more each direction? Good, relax. Let's go do our bird dogs last set. During this round, hands below the shoulders, knees about hip width apart, opposite hand and leg, reach. Give that glute a squeeze. Squeeze. On this move, try to keep a neutral spine as well. Just gaze right in between your hands. Don't let that back droop when you reach, okay? Try to keep it all straight. Keep that core tight, that will help with protecting the back. How about one more each direction? Good. Woo! How are we doing? How about one more round? Can you make it? Let's do our squats. Gotta pull my pants down every time and keep riding up on my knees. All right, feet hip width apart. Lower down and lift the leg. Lower down, lift the leg. Give it a good squeeze. This is your last time doing these. Squeeze everything. Core tight. Are you warm now? Are you breathing? I started sweating a while ago. Keep going. We're doing a few more. How about one more on each side? Last round, give it all you got. Good. Shake them out. Moving on to our lunge, big step. Core tight. Knee behind the toe, lower down and back up. Down and up. Arms overhead if you want. Challenge yourself this last round. Everything tight. Are you breathing? 3, 2, 1. Good. Other side. Big step. Woo. Get your bones. Tighten the core. And let's lower down. And up. Down and up. Arms overhead if you want. Make sure the knees and the toes are going the same direction in front, okay? Not yet. How about 3, 2, and 1. Good. Help yourself down to your mat. Elbow plank, whichever version you want. Elbow below the shoulders, on your knees if you want. Or try challenging yourself last round, all the way up to the toes. Hold everything tight, whichever version you're doing. Core is tight. Back is tight. Legs are tight. But don't forget to breathe. How about 3, 2, and 1. Lower down. Help yourself to a seated position. We're doing our Russian twist again. Engage that core. Lean back. Hands together. Rotate. Nice and controlled. You really want to focus all the tension in that core, and it will help keep your back safe. Don't twist so far that you can feel it in your spine. Only twist to where you feel the tension in your core muscles, okay? Is your neck relaxed? I always have to remind myself. Keep going. How about 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Our last exercise, hands and knees. We're doing our bird dogs. Hands below the shoulders, knees hip distance apart. Opposite arm and leg, reach and down. Reach and down. Whatever speed you're comfortable with. If your balance is a little bit shaky, do this move slower, okay? Slow it down if you're shaky. You don't need to be going the same speed I am. Totally fine. How about 4 more? 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Have a seat. We've made it. We're going to stretch now. Isn't that wonderful news? I'm going to get us some nice, calm, stretching music. You stay seated. There we go. We're going to start with our legs out in front of us. Okay? Lean forward into those legs. We're stretching the hamstrings and the shins. Not the shins. The calves. Oh my goodness. My brain forgot words. The hamstrings and the calves. So those are the muscles on the back of the legs, okay? Reaching forward. I'll show you from the side. As far as you're able, if that's where you're comfortable, great. If you could get lower, that's great too. Breathe into these stretches. We're giving our muscles oxygen by breathing deeply. They need the oxygen. A few more seconds. It's so important to stretch after a workout or every day, really. Our muscles need to be stretched in order to stay flexible and to help best support our bodies. All right, sit on up. Let's bring those knees into the chest. Give them a little hug. Stretching out through the lower back. Ground into it. Stretching that low back, the entire spine. Breathe. And open back up. Seated still, I'm going to face you again. All right, take that arm, reach it to the side, and tilt the head away from the arm. Stretching out the neck, the trapezoid, the shoulder. Walk those hands very slowly, very slowly. Walk the fingers away from you. Are you sitting up tall still? Feel the stretch a little deeper. Hold it wherever you feel the stretch. And relax. Let's do the other side. Reach out, tilt the head. Walk those fingers out very slowly to where you feel the stretch all the way through that neck into the arm. Very gently here. We're not doing any large, jerky movements on these stretches. Good, and relax, bring it back to center. We're moving on to our arms a little more now. Take one arm, reach it across and kind of cradle it. We're stretching the shoulder now. Okay, so that's what we were working with our planks. With the bird dogs, we're working those deltoid muscles, the shoulders. You can feel the stretch all the way through your shoulder blade in the back, all the way through the arm, through the shoulder. Keep breathing. Let's switch. Other side. Is one side tighter than the other? This one's tighter for me. It feels good to stretch out our shoulder muscles. And the back. Keep breathing. Good. And release that one. From here, let's go ahead and stand all the way up. All right. Clasp the hands now behind your back, and we're going to open up the chest. So kind of the opposite of what we just stretched on the floor. Stretching the chest opening up those muscles. Wherever you're comfortable with your arms, if you need them low and you feel a stretch, that's great. If you want to pull them up higher, that's great too. Wherever you feel that stretch, all across the front of your body and through the shoulders. Good. Now take one arm overhead, bend the elbow, and hold the elbow with your opposite hand from the back. This is what it looks like. You can give a little tug. Gently, gently, just pull that arm a little bit deeper into the stretch. You can feel it all the way through the arm, through the shoulder, the tricep, that's the back of the arms. Let's do our other side now. So release and switch. Are you still breathing? Breathing deeply, getting more air into those lungs, into the muscles. Good, now we're going to stretch our legs a little bit more. So we're going to stretch out what's called our hip flexors. This side is first, okay? The leg forward, kind of back into that lunge position, but this time instead I do want you to lean more forward. So think about pushing your pelvis more forward to stretch the muscles that are in front, those hip flexors. So when we were doing our Russian twist and leaning back and engaging our core, these hip flexor muscles were tight to keep us stable. We were working those. Careful with the back, don't lean too far backwards. And let's switch to the other side. Big step, pelvis pushing forward. On this move, you can have that back heel on the ground. On our lunges that we were doing, the back heel was lifted, but this time we're just stretching, relaxing, so the back heel can be down. Press forward wherever you feel that stretch, all the way through the front leg, the front of that body. Good. One more stretch, all the way down, touch your toes if you can. Reach the arms up, big stretch, clasp your hands. Take a few breaths. One more deep breath. And release the arms down. We made it. How do you feel? I hope that you felt challenged, and I hope you had a good time. And most importantly though, I hope you sweat just a little bit. I will be back again, same time next week, Thursday at 9 a.m. Next week we have a new class coming. I'll be sending out an announcement email and social media posts about it. We're doing a meditation class. Shannon, one of our yoga instructors, will be teaching the class. So I hope you will join us for that. It will be Tuesdays at 5:30 right here on Facebook. Other than that, get closer. That's all the announcements I have. Thank you so much for joining me live or recorded later on if that's where you are now. Bye.